thought about it, we really don't know what it is to love yourself. Is there can I have the videos on? Because if you are doing any process, it would be good if I could see you all. And actually, I will be starting with the process first.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much. Right. So first, I want you all to experience what it is when I say that do you or do you not love yourself? So are you all okay to do our first process with me? Okay. So just sit back, close your eyes. Just be comfortable. And just start taking nice deep breaths. And let every breath relax you. Breathing in from the nose, out from the mouth. Completely, fully relaxing you. And now in this relaxed state, bring in front of you a person that you really, really love, that you connect with. How do you feel when you see this person? How does your heart feel? Is there a smile on your face? How do you connect with this person? Observe how your body feels when you are around this person. When this person makes a mistake, how do you behave with this person? When this person has done something really great, has achieved something, how do you behave with this person? How do you take care of this person on a day-to-day basis? And how do you take care of this person when the person is not feeling well? And how would you feel when this person is not there in your life? Feel everything, get all the information that you need. And now let this person leave and invite yourself in place of this person. How do you feel when you connect with yourself? How do you treat yourself? How do you behave with yourself when you have made a mistake? How do you treat yourself when you have achieved something? How do you treat yourself when you're not well? And most important, how do you treat yourself when slowly you're losing yourself and one fine day you will be gone? Take a nice deep breath. Slowly come back into the room where you are and slowly open your eyes when you feel ready. So would anybody would like to share with me what was the difference between the person that you loved and when you saw yourself in place of that person? Would anybody like to share?
Just unmute yourself if you want to share. Or put your hand up and I'll unmute you.
We are more forgiving with ourselves.
You're more forgiving with yourself?
Yeah.
And what about the person that you love? You can't forgive that person?
No, we can. But
Okay.
compare it to when you asked about the mistakes and that mistakes, and then like how would you react, feel, and how was the person? So I felt that when it came to us, we were more forgiving. Not that we were not forgiving the other person, but
Okay.
for me, yes.
And otherwise, how do you treat yourself?
I think I really enjoy myself.
Great. That means you're already on the path of loving yourself. So what I am trying to bring to notice with this very small process is that the way we treat the people whom you really, really love, that is exactly how you are supposed to treat yourself. And most of the time, we do exactly the opposite with ourselves. How many of us beat ourselves up when we make a mistake? Nobody? I'm the only one?
I hear.
No,
Yeah.
I do, but yeah.
Right? And how many times do you give yourself the permission to rest when you're not feeling well?
I give myself complete permission. I sleep, man.
Even I give myself
All the time. All the
cancel
time.
everything and say I'm not
I
well.
sleep.
Yes, but you know,
Yes.
for a person like me, it was a real effort to even learn to rest when I wasn't well, because I came from that very strong conditioning given to me by my mother that even when you're not well, you must do things as much, at least as much as you can do.
No,
So
never.
it's like,
I will not do.
even when I have fever, I used to sit and fold at least the clothes, or I would, give instructions. But it was like I could never give myself the permission to rest. And when I started on this journey, I realized how much I have beaten up myself and what I had really done to myself, how much I had lost myself. And that is
Kavita,
where,
Kavita, I have gone through the same journey, but now I do take care of myself. If I'm not well, I am relaxing, taking care of, giving my body the healing that it is necessary. But I can relate what you are saying. I have gone through. I've hurt myself a lot and lost health in the process.
exactly. And unfortunately, we learn to love ourselves only when something really dramatic and drastic happens in our life. The way I call it, when you get a kick in the ass, from the universe, that is when we learn that. So my entire journey is about teaching people that please learn this thing before you get a kick in your ass. Because no matter what issue you have in your life, at the end of it, you will find it is about the way you treat yourself, how you see yourself, what are you doing for yourself. And here I'm not talking about the pedicure, manicures that you'll have. Yes, that is also one way of taking care of yourself. But
Kavita, they have over nowadays.
I'm sorry?
No parlors nowadays. Last 4 months, no parlor.
Good.
No pedicure from last 6 months.
All the more reason now you will learn to love yourself with all those eyebrows grown and the hair going all over the place, the gray hair. So this is your challenge of loving yourself. Can you look into the mirror and tell yourself that I love you despite the parlors not being there?
Yeah.
Right? That's exactly what we have to learn to do. So now pick up your mirrors. Take your mirror and look into your eyes. Deeply look into your eyes. And you're not going to look at those eyebrows which have not been done and the color that is not on the hair. You're only going to look into your eyes. And definitely not at the dark circles.
Cheating allowed?
No cheating allowed. That's why I said, keep the mirror close to you so that you can see only your eyes.
But what if never colored our hair, never eyebrows, and
Never
Doesn't
like
matter. Doesn't matter. Right now, just do the exercise.
no bleach, no facial. As it is, I am.
Good. So look into your eyes and tell yourself, I love you.
I love you.
You can say it in your mind. If you feel like saying it loudly, you can say that. Whatever suits you. I love you. And I accept you just the way you are. And now
It's
use your
difficult.
name.
It's very difficult to accept myself by the way I am.
Yes, and that is where this mirror will help you. The more difficult it is, the more it is important that you love yourself. And now use your name and say that. So I would be saying, Kavita, I love you. Kavita, I accept you just the way you are. You are beautiful. You are amazing.
I'm sorry, but during the exercise, I start crying.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. If Anu could help me with that.
You're asking the wrong person to help you.
Emanuela.
Sorry?
Emanuela.
Emanuela.
Yeah.
Okay, so Emanuela, there's a lot of, loving yourself that you need to do. And the first thing is going to start by you saying positive statements for yourself, looking straight into the mirror, into your eyes. And it's perfectly okay if you feel like crying. In fact, that is your first sign of healing. Because today you are acknowledging yourself.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. So how many of you all could do that easily? Easily?
I could do it easily, yes.
Right. And like Emanuela, did anybody have any kind of difficulty? Did anybody criticize?
No.
Did anybody demean yourself? Did you all tell yourself, this is not okay with you, that is not okay with you? Wonderful. So using the mirror to uplift yourself, to encourage yourself is one very good way of loving yourself. And the most important thing is stop criticizing yourself. That is rule number one. We believe, in fact, we have been conditioned to believe that only when we will be criticized, we will improve, right? A lot of us have that conditioning even as a child that, when our parents told us that, oh, you couldn't do even this much, how stupid of you, you must learn how to do this. They thought that that is how we were going to improve. And that is the reason our own inner dialogue has become of criticism. We criticize ourselves, we criticize everybody. So if you really want to love yourself, stop criticizing yourself. Automatically, you will stop criticizing others. If you make a mistake, tell yourself it's okay, you're learning. Because there is nothing like a right or a wrong, it's just an experience. I hope you all are getting it, what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Right. And the most important thing is also appreciate the journey that you have made so far. If today is the first time that you're learning to love yourself and tears are flowing and criticisms are there, a lot of hurt, pain is coming up, trust it and be with it. This is the beginning of your healing. So don't criticize yourself that, oh, today in front of, all these 20 people, I started crying. That's perfectly fine. In fact, the golden words are going to be, it's okay. No matter what happens in your life, start saying it's okay. And especially right now, during the times of this pandemic, where, you are hearing about deaths, you are hearing about accidents, and there is literally nothing good to hear. It's very, very important to be very kind and gentle with yourself. Every time you're hard on yourself, you're blaming yourself, you're criticizing yourself, remember the process that we did to behave with yourself exactly the way you would behave with somebody that you really, really loved. Can somebody tell me who had come up in front of you that you really, really loved, and how is your relationship with that person? Can somebody share?
Well, I would say my mother, but my mother's died years back.
That is okay, but how was your relationship with her?
Beautiful. A wonderful woman, and I miss her so much.
Right. And how did you take care of her?
Well, actually, I lived abroad, so I was not able to look after her while she was in her last moments, in her
Right.
last years. Still, she is my loved ones.
Right. And how do you treat yourself, Emanuela?
Oh, I mistreat myself because I think I was not right to her because I was abroad while she was ill.
So you're holding a lot of guilt.
Yes, I do.
Right? Right. So especially emotions like guilt, fear, and self-hatred will not allow you to work on yourself. So please work on releasing these emotions and whatever is the associated conflict with it, so that you can love yourself. So let me just help you with one thing here, Emanuela. Would your mother be happy if she knew that you are feeling guilty about not taking care of her?
Absolutely not.
So can you let go of feeling guilty?
Oh, it's very difficult.
Okay.
I hope you can help me.
Yes. So if you want to let go of this guilt, just let your mother be there in front of you and tell her why you are feeling guilty. Can you do that?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. So just have your mother in front of you and tell her why you are feeling so guilty. You've been holding on to this guilt for many, many years now.
Oh, yes.
So tell her why you are feeling so guilty and see what is her response.
Her response is of love.
Exactly. So ask her, what can I do so that I can let go of this guilt? What is she saying?
I'm so emotional now, so it's difficult to perceive.
Can you just see, find out what is her response? How can she help you?
She just say, let go.
Right. And let go is a very generic term. So let's be a little specific over here. Ask her, how do I let go? I love you so much. I wasn't there for you. What is she saying?
The only word I can hear is love.
Right. So tell her, give me so much of love that my guilt can get washed away. Help me forgive myself for not being there for you. And see all that love coming from your mother and just washing away that guilt. Wherever you're holding that in your body, just let it wash away. And most important, do you need to tell your mother that you're sorry for not being there for her?
Oh, I've told her many times.
And has your mother forgiven you for that?
Of course she has.
Right. So then there is no reason for you to hold on to that guilt.
Yeah, you're right.
So can you now drop it?
Yeah.
Yeah? And just feel this love from your mom.
That is what I felt. That's why I started crying.
Lovely. Feel it. And
That's why I started crying, because I felt all her love.
right. And feel all this love and now drop this guilt. You don't need it anymore.
Thank you.
And that is what is loving yourself, of letting go all those emotions that hold you back, that don't let you live the life that you really want to live.
Thank you, dear.
You're most welcome.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. Right. So, is there anybody who wants to share? Because I think the most important thing, as I said, about loving yourself is that just stop criticizing yourself and don't hold on to those emotions that don't work for you anymore. And at every place where you are being hard on yourself, where you're beating up yourself, where you're blaming yourself, just stop doing that, because that is not helping you. Yes, somebody was saying something.
Yeah, Kavita, this is Stacey.
Yeah, Teji.
Kavita, I have a question. So when you lose a loved one and sometime you feel that, as part of the relationship, there are some arguments, there are some not good emotions that you have gone through. And when the loved one is gone, obviously, the realization is there even when the person is alive. But, after the person has died, it comes more hitting to you of why did you do? And you ask for forgiveness. So how do I come to know that my loved one has actually forgiven me? How will I come to know?
The very fact that you don't need to ask for forgiveness anymore.
Okay, if I feel that I don't need to ask for forgiveness, that is okay.
Right. And see, what we need to understand over here with forgiveness is, it is not about accepting somebody's bad behavior. It is about freeing ourselves from all that hurt, pain, or whatever you have experienced. So how do I know that I have forgiven this person? Even when this person is now there in front of me or not there, it does not affect me. That is your litmus test for whether you have forgiven or not forgiven. Does that make sense?
Yes. No, I'm asking, me asking forgiveness from them, and how will I know they have forgiven me?
Right. So exactly as I said, whatever are those emotions, work on them. And as you will keep working on them, you will realize you don't need to ask for the forgiveness anymore. And if you feel that you have really done something wrong, something nasty, genuinely ask for forgiveness and finish it.
Mm-hmm. Nothing nasty, but yes, whatever small things that maybe you feel guilt and hurt about it now. So, okay, I will take this up.
Exactly like what I even told Emmanuel, that work on your guilt, work on those emotions that are blocking you and not letting you move forward. Because the person who needed to leave has already left. Why are you holding on? Is that making sense, Teji?
Yes, Kavita. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, would anybody like to share how they love themselves? What is their understanding of loving themselves? Okay, I think somebody has a Mr. Rajiv. Yes.
There is also someone who's put a message. Raksha has put a message, if you can read it.
Yes, I will read that. Yes, Mr. Rajiv.
Mr. Rajiv?
You need to unmute him, I think.
राजीव जी आपको अनम्यूट करना पड़ेगा. नमस्ते सर जी. How nice to see you here. How nice to see you.
नमस्ते जी.
नमस्ते.
अरे आपका प्रोग्राम हो हम छोड़ें, क्या बात कर रहे हैं आप? हाँ?
शुक्रिया.
कविता जी,
हाँ जी.
आपने बहुत अच्छी बातें कही हैं और मैं प्रार्थना करता हूँ सबसे कि वो आपकी भाषा को समझे और उस भाषा में छुपे संदेश को समझे. It's all about creating an atmosphere of harmony, transparency and sharing love with all. अगर हम ये सब अपने फैमिली में कर पाते हैं तो मेरे ख्याल से फिर आगे जाके हमें इन समस्याओं का सामना नहीं करना पड़ता.
So the gentleman is saying if we can do love and create harmony in our systems, then we will not have to go ahead and create anything over there. Thank you. So there are many people who don't understand Hindi at all.
अच्छा ठीक है, मैं अपनी टूटी फूटी अंग्रेजी में बोलता हूँ.
अच्छी बड़ी इंग्लिश है आपकी. हाँ बोलिए.
Like we have a saying here, tell the mirrors not to lie. Okay. Now our personality is the mirror of our upbringing in our family. But in certain societies, a newlywed lady is obliged to shed whatever she has inherited from her parents' home and then accept, adopt, and fall in line with the new culture where she has come over. Now that is what happens is it's kind of a new avatar forced upon the lady. And in that process of transition, the lady feels humiliated, tortured, disturbed, insulted, isolated. And too often she will be calling her mom. Too often she will be discussing it with husband. She may get support from her mom, but she may not get that kind of support from her husband. Now that is a dilemma for a woman. And that is where all these kinds of emotional complications, they start rolling into her.
Yes, Mr. Rajiv, I agree that, love, harmony, once that is created, that will also be loving yourself. But sometimes being able to say a no, not being taken for granted, not taking abuse is as equally important the way loving somebody is important. You can't just keep loving somebody who is lashing back at you. At that time, loving yourself will be telling that person to stop. Or maybe you needing to get out of that situation so that your peace and harmony can be maintained.
Yes, thank you. Now, when you said get out of the situation, do you have the guts to get out of the situation? Are you economically strong enough to get out of the situation?
Rajiv ji, yes, she did get out of the situation.
No, I am talking in general.
See,
in general, where women are not armed with knowledge, women are not armed with education, women are not self-sufficient. Now, that is a big question mark in any society where women are solely dependent on their family and on their husband. So it is not applicable at large to instigate or inspire women this way. It's good. Words are wonderful, excellent, but in real life they don't work out well.
Well, I think women are powerful enough and strong.
I don't agree.
Today.
Can we keep all this discussion at the end of the talk? We'll divert. Right now, let's allow Kavita to complete her talk. She just started. And then we'll keep all this discussion at the end. And I really, really value everybody's discussion. I really value that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody's understanding. So Kavita, go on with what you're trying to say.
Right. So what I am trying to say is that loving yourself means respecting yourself, honoring yourself, valuing yourself, and taking care of yourself as though you are the most important person. Everything that you do for others, you need to do that for yourself also. How many of us here, like especially women, here you will cook a whole big meal, for your whole family. Husband likes this, son likes this, daughter like this, in-laws want this. Have you ever put in that time and energy to cook for yourself what you like? Most of the time we don't do that. But do it once and see how it makes you feel. It is very important to do even those small things for yourself. Taking a break, not wanting to do anything for one day, even if the whole world calls you lazy. And that's perfectly okay. That is loving yourself. Taking care of your body, where you are taking care of your in-laws' diabetes, maybe your husband's blood pressure. Are you taking care of your body and its needs? Which is equally important. And most important thing I would like to say here is that loving yourself is not being selfish. It is very important that this one statement goes across, that loving yourself is not being selfish. In fact, when you will be healthy, you will be happy, your cup will be full. It's only then that you can share with your whole family. Can you imagine? I am empty inside, my glass is empty, and I'm trying to, quench everybody's thirst. How is that possible? I have to regularly keep filling up my glass so that I can give it to others. So giving yourself is as important as giving to others. And equally, receiving is also very important. Learn to ask for help. Create your support system. And that need not always be your family members. The way Anu said that if she would want a therapy, she knows where to go. Similarly, I know which door to knock when I need help. And you have to create that kind of a support system for yourself. So at least these are the things that I am working on and using them in my day-to-day life, where it has really brought me in that place of being grounded and centered, where I can tell people, okay, I'm not okay doing this and I can do this much, and I don't feel guilty about it. Most of the times we are not even willing to love ourselves out of the very fear that if we change, we will not be accepted. If today I say no, my family will not be okay with it.
A lot of messages dropping in from Raksha. Just have a look.
Loving myself by not being harsh on myself and judging myself, yes. Now my husband and daughter have gotten used to it, but yes, it took years of self-love and healing to reach here. It wasn't like this 12 years back. Well, I started this journey in 2002 and this is 2020. And my journey is still continuing of loving myself. I still keep slipping and I have to still keep pulling myself back and say, no, this is not okay. Come back on track. And that's normal. It happens with everybody. So again, don't beat yourself up that, oh, it's, 12 years I'm doing this and I've still not learned. It's perfectly okay.
Kavita, this is Teji again.
Yeah.
When you said, right, it's perfectly okay someday where you just want to relax and do nothing.
Yes.
So I have, and just like you, I have been trying to do some of these for last 10, 12 years, same year. I wasn't like that. And people, it was more of giving till, your soul was crying and you realize that something is wrong and I need to correct. So now I'm practicing it, but what happens is sometimes when I'm just having that relaxation, and the moment there is a comment or a judgment being passed, it hurts me so much still. How do I overcome this? I overcome it, but sometimes it is going back and it hurts for 10-15 days. How do I reduce that to a day or an hour to bounce back again?
And
So
Teji, that's exactly what Rajiv was trying to say. What Rajiv Bhatnagar was trying to say was exactly what you're saying. You know, it's easier said than done. In real life, he's not seeing it.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
so it has reduced, but sometimes I'm going through that sulking. You know, why is the person saying this to me? Sometimes it goes for a month or so, and I want to reduce that to maybe an hour or a 30 minute that I bounce
Right.
back, and this is fine.
Yeah.
What is that I should do?
Right. So first you need to understand that there is a law in the universe that says what goes out comes back. Have you heard of the law?
Yes.
Right. So what does that mean? Whatever I'm putting out in the universe is going to get multiplied and come back to me. So if I am judging myself, the whole world is ready to judge you. Can you stop judging yourself when you feel like having a lazy day? Can you stop judging yourself when you don't feel like doing anything? Can you stop judging yourself when you have said a no to somebody? As you will stop judging yourself, the other people will stop judging you. And if despite that they keep judging you, well, you have to learn the art of becoming ignorant and irrelevant. It should not matter to you.
These are loved ones, Kavita, your brother, your mother, everybody.
Yes. I'm talking of all the loved ones only over here. In fact, that is where our biggest challenge is. The world will come afterwards and judge you. It is your inner world, your very own people who first come and judge you.
Okay.
And you need to work on all these emotions that are getting triggered inside you because they are all unhealed childhood wounds. The more these will get healed, the stronger you will become to stay on this path. So I will give you a very simple example, and this is my personal example. The minute I was sitting idle for even 10 minutes, I would hear my mother saying, "What are you doing there? Why are you sitting? Why are you not doing anything? Get up." So giving yourself that time out was not okay. And I had to really put in that effort to tell myself it's okay. Let her say what she wants to say. I am going to do today nothing. So when I came to that place, I think one fine day my mother just gave up on me and said, okay, fine, she's not going to listen. And that is where the judgment stopped. And definitely this is not going to happen in one day. No overnight magic is going to happen. It is going to be you keeping practicing it. And the more you practice it, it will happen.
Thank you, Kavita, for sharing that.
You're welcome. Okay, so for Raksha, I would like to say, instead of saying that every day is a struggle, can you say that every day I am learning? Because when you will make it a struggle, that is exactly what's going to happen. So instead of that, just say, I'm learning every day. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't get it, and that's okay. Can you do that? Because the minute you will change even that one word, you will realize your energy will change. Just say this word, every day I struggle, and then say, every day I'm learning. Tell me which one feels better.
Learning.
Definitely it's lighter and it feels better. And that is where your struggle will stop. So be very mindful of the words that you are using. Words have power. And again, what I'm sending out will come back. So if I'm sending out the energy of struggle, more struggle is going to come in. Right? Right. Somebody had raised their hand. Anu?
Guys, just unmute yourself if anybody wants to ask a question or go further. So I think Raksha is saying a thank you. I think we can go ahead. I don't see anyone.
I have given all the tips that I know. So if anybody has any question over there, or they are really finding something that they are finding it difficult to do, then I can help you.
Okay, you know, it was really interesting when you said find a loved one. I went through every person and then I suddenly realized that my heart was more in Luna right now.
Well, she's teaching you how to love yourself, isn't she?
She's so beautiful, I can't tell you. She sat in front of me and I realized that every time she pees wrongly, I've given her a maafi. Every time she behaves rubbish, I have, you know, covered up for her. Every time she sat there scratching on my bed covers and torn them, I would have not dared ever in my life to tear my bed covers like this. I have forgiven her. Every time she's gone and maybe barked at the wrong time, I've looked at her and actually gone and with love given her a hug. So in this exercise today, I became aware that at times when I am not doing something the way I think I should be doing it, I'm probably being very hard on myself. And that's one thing I need to really loosen up and be as loose with myself as I am with, not loose, as loving as I am with Luna. So that was brilliant, Kavita.
So exactly, when she pees and you forgive her, can you forgive yourself when you make some mistake? Yeah. Again, as I said, it's okay. It happens.
I mean, it's really interesting. Like I'm expecting others to be loving at that time to me, whereas what I really need to change, and thank you for that awareness, is that I really need to start looking at myself and saying it's okay. It's okay to be like that. It's okay to be. It's okay not to even feel loving towards yourself today. It's fine. You want to scratch the walls? Go scratch the wall like Luna does. I tell you, it would be so releasing to do what Luna does with her.
And does she even care?
Of course, she cares because she'll come and lick all over my face and my hand as if, you know, pata nahi khana nikal raha hai mere haath se, kya nikal raha hai, lovingly. So yeah, she's teaching me every day that it does not matter. The bullshit does not matter. The bullshit may want someone to say that, oh, I wish I had not got her home. But it really doesn't matter because it's not you who gets anybody home or takes someone out of your house. ये तो लिखा हुआ है कि कितना कौन किसी की जिंदगी में रहेगा. अब कौन हो निकालने वाले, and who are you to remove someone out of your life, or who are someone to bring someone in your life?
Absolutely. And the way Luna has taught you so much, my cats have taught me.
Anu, can I add something here?
Please go ahead.
So there is a spiritual messages these animals come in our lives. They don't come in our lives just like that. There is a reason, there is something in your life which they are coming to teach you. They are basically teachers as well as healers. They come and heal certain aspect of us and come and teach us lessons. Now when she is peeing, she's trying to even divert your mind from probably something which you might be going to overreact or you're going to get hurt with. Or there is something that you are doing which you're not supposed to be doing, and she's just diverting your mind by peeing and showing that this is something I'm doing. Now look over here. Don't look there. That's not important. Don't react. There'll be many times when you are on the phone and you want to give back to someone, and your animal will come and put their paw on your phone and say, "Let go."
Wow.
But what we do is we put our animal aside. And you say, no, I want to fight over here. I want to give it back to this person. Or I want to indulge in this drama. The animal is teaching us, don't indulge in this drama. Come play with me. They'll come and throw a ball on you. She'll start scratching you or scratching the wall. It's just to divert your mind.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting to see.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Very interesting. Really.
I'm noticing it now more. Absolutely.
Well, my cats taught me how to sleep and how to sleep lost to the world, which was so important for me because I couldn't sleep very peacefully. And the way I see my cat sleep, doesn't matter whether it is 6 hours or 16 hours in a day, he sleeps and do whatever you want, doesn't get up. And I actually, one fine day, I admitted, I said, I need to learn to sleep the way you sleep. And trust me, from that day onwards, my sleep has improved.
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing.
So, if you really want to learn to love yourself, the universe will bring all those things into your life that will help you learn it.
You know, my biggest one, guys, I used to be scared of dogs. So scared that if you brought a puppy next to me or anything that was furry next to me, I would run. And that happened for 50 years. I'm 52 today. And will you believe it that for the last 2 years, it's been a year that she's here, but for the last 2 years, because I got over my fear before Luna came, I don't understand why I ever got fearful of anything that is called a dog, a cat. I cannot understand myself. There has been a change of spirit, a change of me inside me. And that credit goes to all my friends, including Aarti, including Kavita here. Her little one used to get cats and she wanted to open a zoo. But the way no other therapy worked. The way this therapy worked, my whole heart has changed. I cannot tell you how I feel for the animals today. And I was thinking today morning also, how could I have said I lived complete when I wasn't loving one whole part of the nature? That's animals, birds, nature. I didn't know what that meant.
I know. I just like to pitch in because I remember you on 3 instances where you were scared of pets. One was at Zenobia's place, her Happy had come in from Switzerland.
Yes.
While we had a shoot. One was at Warsaw. You had to go to, and you ask, is anybody scared of dogs? If somebody isn't, please come over with me. And the last was at Jyotika's place at the Christmas party.
Yes.
Her Shih Tzu was a Shara.
Yes.
And I was wondering, now you're talking about Luna, so when did the Luna come in? Because 3 instances I've seen you, Anu.
I'm such a different
It happened with me too. No, it happened with me too. I was really petrified until I went to Kimia's place.
Wow.
She's got a lab. I think her lab is 12 and she's got a Himalayan Mastiff, Jaunty. They're huge, but they're dumb. I've never seen them bark ever.
They're dumb.
Ask Kimia, she'll tell you they're dumb. She'll just tell them, today Sophie auntie is coming, and they'll start wagging. And they've been darlings. Like the fear of pets has gone with them.
Wow.
Makes a difference, yeah.
Yeah, they are adorable. They are adorable.
They're adorable.
Wow.
You look into their eyes and
you melt.
Shara, yeah, if like I met her just barely for half an hour, was there with Shara and at Jyotika's place for Christmas. She looked into my eyes and there I was all over it.
Wow.
They're adorable. They're darlings.
So that one activity that you've got us to do, Kavita brought up a lot.
So thank you so much, everybody. If there is any question or anything, I'll take it. Or I think, Anu, you can move to the next speaker then.
Wonderful. So now we go to the next speaker.